Where am I? Is the usual question. In your case, when might be more apt.
Where am I?
Very well, you old snake. If you'd prefer I use my bare hands.
Well, this is completely unexpected. This orb disables our vampire enemies, leaving them helpless and incapacitated. Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours. But you must believe me. I mean you no harm.
You can drop the benevolent facade, Mobius. I know who and what you are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Mobius?
My role as Time Guardian affords me a certain level of omniscience, Raziel. No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Cain, some 30 years from now.
Ah, you two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
How is it that you know my name? We have never met.
On the contrary, Raziel, I know you very well. And it grieves me to see how cruelly Cain has used you. I knew you when you were one of the Sarafan Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately, you need not love me now to be my ally.
Are we within the stronghold of the Sarafan priesthood?
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since passed, I'm afraid. This is a more cynical and indecorous age. My mercenary army now inhabits this stronghold. We strive to honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorador?
Yes, the scourge of the Circle, the most depraved and decadent example of his whole degenerate race. He slaughtered 6 of my fellow Guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
And you somehow survived this massacre?
I and 2 others. The Circle was devastated. Only we 3 were spared.
How convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation for deceit.
And who has slandered me so? Your malefactor, Cain?
Who has slandered me so?
Destroyed you? Our
Your
common
malefactor,
enemy?
Cain.
Consider the source before you judge me too harshly.
Good morning, everyone.
We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then. But consider
I hope my audio is better.
based on our common ground.
We'll see.
Cain dead. I can help you do it.
You don't want to meddle in this, old man. I know all about your sordid little schemes, but you're simply out.
Yeah, good morning, and hope you enjoy the stream today.
Let me show you.
The beginning of my run,
Now, Cain
there
lied
is
to you, unaware that I've snatched you
lots
from the
of
mainstream
time to
and
gain.
brought you here to me.
In fact, there's probably 2 minutes up to the Go to the Future split.
Foolishly confident that he has eluded your grasp.
So if we can get lucky in the Light Shrine,
Yes, Raziel. They are the embodiment
that would be
of the divine
fantastic.
force which preserves the life of our world.
And also a better
Pillars maintain their delicate balance, and
Dark
Cain is
Shrine
destined to
and
be the fulcrum
lead
upon
up
which that
to
balance
that.
turns. I believe you have already endured the wasteland wrought by his terrible, selfish decision. Cain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives,
I don't know.
all of Nosgoth
And
is
also lots of
You may
movement
never again
that can be better.
Raziel. But you can re-embrace
So we're gonna
the
try.
essence
We'll
of your
keep
humanity
grinding, even
and the
though
nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him,
the last run
and
was
end this.
really good. At least the second half of it was
You
really
will
good.
need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you. My soldiers will not understand your
In their shop.
They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the
Now, Alec. Bolt the door.
Do what you have to do. All great movements
Require a few others. Alone now.
Alone now, I surveyed my surroundings and noticed a second time-streaming chamber. Its entrance identical to the first, but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how, I had not yet discovered.
Oh, don't do that. They are quite aggressive today.
Throughout the stronghold, I discovered evidence of my former nobility and my life as a Sarafan priest. This was the heritage so foully stolen from me when Cain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me.
To arms!
Away from the influence of Mobius's cursed staff, I could feel the strength of the Soul Reaver slowly returning. If that orb was as debilitating to vampires as it was to the blade,
It wasn't great. I got dragged too far away
over his enemies. I
from the
finally
gate.
understood how Mobius's crusade could decimate the vampires so successfully. If he could immobilize his enemies, they were at his mercy. But
Why, I wonder, would the staff have any effect on the Reaver?
As I neared the stronghold's inner sanctum, a strange sensation crept over me. An indescribable feeling of displacement, a sense of vertigo, as reality itself appeared to warp and bend around me. The disturbance seemed to emanate from the sanctuary's furthest chapel. As I cautiously approached, the sense of dislocation intensified with each step. So this was the tomb of the beloved King William the Just, beatified here as the martyr and catalyst of Mobius's crusade. I was reminded of Cain's journey as a fledgling vampire, how Mobius coerced him to travel back in history and assassinate
William.
thus igniting a genocidal hatred of vampires among the citizens of Nosgoth. And here I discovered the source of the displacement. The Soul Reaver itself, laid out like a holy relic, and broken, apparently in the battle between William and Cain. I had not thought such a thing was possible. Until, of course, Cain shattered the blade against me when he tried to strike me down. Thus the captive spirit inhabiting the Reaver was released, and binding itself to me became my symbiotic weapon. And so the Reaver met its former self, still imprisoned in this corporeal shell. I watched, mesmerized, as the Wraith blade uncoiled itself and snaked down the length of the physical blade. Embracing its twin, its mirror self, the Reaver's long-dormant spirit was now fully aroused. And for the first time, I felt the true presence of this other entity. Willful, ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment. The Reaver was now in command, and I, now merely its helpless host, felt my soul being reached.
What would be nice?
But the Reaver knew better than to destroy its host, and just as I neared the brink of oblivion, the blade released its hold on me.
Oh no, my ultimate goal, I guess.
I realized we were now bound together in a fragile alliance. The Reaver no longer merely my symbiote,
To get closer to my sum of best,
competing for
which obviously is always everyone's.
What have you done to me, Mobius? Is this your trap?
How mine? Don't forget it was Cain who led you here, not I. While you curse me, the only soul in Nosgoth ready to guide and assist you, Cain laughs at our folly and revels in your dismay.
These blades, now coiled in sinister embrace, have inspired terror in the hearts of creatures far more durable than you, old man. Bound together as they are, I can only
That's
imagine
odd.
what they could do to your souls.
I don't think it's saved.
Raziel, I beg you.
It did. It
stay
had to
on.
have saved.
This was none of my doing. I have
Yes.
sought only to aid you in your righteous quest.
Why, you're trembling, Mobius. Has your confidence...
I don't know why the predicted time is so high.
You
It
seem
shouldn't
to
be.
have made
but
a fatal error by
No
leaving
big
your
deal.
precious staff behind.
So,
Is that where all your courage comes
obviously, the ultimate goal is to get closer to sum
Don't
of
know what
best.
you're doing. I have taken an enormous risk
Um,
appearing here before you, so defenseless, yet eager to prove my good intentions. If there's anything left of the Seraphim in you, you won't
To
do
get
this. While you threaten me, your
like
true
a low 337 or 336 would be
He'll join you in hell
great.
soon enough. As you said, death comes for us all.
Yes, the wheel of fate demands it.
What did you say?
Ultimately,
The wheel of fate, the inexorable cycle of death and rebirth.
could I ever get a
to which
335,
all are compelled.
which
We
would take
serve
a
the same God, Raziel.
godlike run. I think
To
I would.
strike me
I might
down,
retire from this
we strike
game
God's own attendant.
or play it more casually.
You take that risk.
I tire of your games, Mobius. Now that I know you fear me, I needn't concern myself with you. Cain is waiting for me.
Go then, Raziel. Seek Cain out and destroy him. In the name of the
Seek
one God
Cain
who
out and
knows
destroy him.
You, who were once a Seraphim priest, murdered, profaned, destroyed, and reborn again from his mercy. You are now most powerfully equipped to be his agent, his instrument of restoration and retribution.
My own vengeance is motivation enough.
My own vengeance is motivation enough.
By my soul, you almost
Had
had me.
me, my little blue assassin.
But that'll be the one and only chance you get. I assure you of that.
I could now summon the blade at will, regardless of my strength. But once summoned, the blade's ravenous appetite could not be contained. It devoured the souls of its victims, and if I allowed it to become over-aroused, the Reaver would now turn its hunger on me. So this was the legendary Janos Ordrin, reputed to have been the most ancient and diabolical vampire to have ever existed. According to folklore, he lived high in the cliffs of Nosgoth's northern mountains and preyed mercilessly on the defenseless villages below. His reign of terror ended when the Sarafan finally hunted him down and tore his throbbing heart from his still-living body. This relic came to be known as the Heart of Darkness, and was supposedly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife. The Sarafan therefore guarded it carefully, lest the heart fall into the hands of their enemies. But I wondered, could Janos Ordrin truly have been as monstrous as depicted here? Or was this merely artistic
No,
license by
no,
the
I don't think
Sarafan,
he was.
who sought to lionize themselves by demonizing their darkest enemy? Strange how my history came full circle. This chapel, I realized, was a memorial to my former Sarafan brethren and myself. All of us martyred here, and then so cruelly profaned by Cain when he imposed his gift on our noble corpses. For the first time, I beheld the image of my Sarafan self, memorialized here among my fallen comrades. It tortured me to see how noble and pure I had been, and what a vile phantasm I had become.
Noble and pure,
A
right?
sense of injury, of loss and betrayal welled up in me, so overwhelming I could barely contain it. All I wanted at this moment was to find Cain and destroy him.
Oh, click back in. Why? Why would it click out right there? Not supposed to.
I emerged, and for the first time beheld Nosgoth in its former glory.
Drop it.
Land
I mean,
flowed with abundant life and vitality. And I
just
knew
hang on
with
to it until I have to
certain
drop
that the
it. Yes.
world I had left
Hopefully it
behind was
disappears.
nothing more than the corpse of Nosgoth, a lifeless husk bled dry by the corruption of Cain's parasitic empire. This was the fragile world Cain sacrificed to preserve his own petty life and ambition, heedless of the profound cost. The sight only deepened my resolve. I sensed that the pillars lay to the northwest, and if Cain truly waited to confront me there, I would not disappoint him. As I passed this arcane landmark, a wisp of the Reaver's energy was drawn into the ring, illuminating it. This created a beacon of sorts in the spirit world. If ever I found myself depleted in the spectral realm,
I have to throw
and my
it.
soul tossed on the ethereal winds, these beacons would draw me back to safety and restore me.
Why is he freaking walking?
These ancient obelisks were mysteriously attuned to my spiritual essence. By simply touching the symbol, I could safely preserve an imprint of my soul, and thus create a milestone to which I could return when weary, and from which I could resume my journey. While I had only just escaped the stronghold, I sensed that in time my journey would return me full circle to this place. Infiltrating the fortress, however, would be no small feat. The balcony that had provided my escape was now well beyond my reach, leaving this massive gateway as the only means of entry. The gates were sealed, but like the time-streaming chamber I had seen earlier, their operation was undoubtedly linked to that odd crystal mounted above the entrance.
The hell? Why would it?
There's one.
Why it would face me? That which stinks, because now that's. I don't think. I don't think it was perfect for this, but might save time on my own, but definitely best.
Here it comes.
These vampires had nothing in common with the deranged jackals I left behind in Kane's derelict empire. They seemed to retain much of their former humanity. In this era, vampires were clearly not the uncontested predators we had been. These creatures were hunted mercilessly and oppressed. And while I still believed that vampirism was a plague and had to be wiped out, there was nothing noble or righteous in this crusade.
This was simply ruthless persecution.
The pillars of Nosgoth, pristine, whole, and uncorrupted. I had never beheld them in this undefiled state, yet something profound and indelible resonated within me at the sight. And there, waiting at the very heart of the pillars, was the canker that was destined to destroy them.
I know you're there, Raziel.
Mobius led me to you, Kane, though I might have guessed you'd meet me here.
And if Mobius told you I was hidden on the underside of hell, would you throw yourself into oblivion to pursue me? Mobius trawls for the ignorant and unwary, hauling his gasping prey from the streams of their destinies. Stay out of his net, Raziel.
Spare me your elaborate metaphors, Kane. I have pursued you here.
Looking for a pair of headphones.
Will pay for your betrayal,
Can't find them.
and balance will thus be restored to Nosgoth.
And whose will is satisfied then? The will of Raziel or Mobius?
Would I be better manipulated by you, Kane? Now, turn and face me. The chase is over.
This isn't a chase, Raziel. We are merely passengers on the wheel of destiny. describing a perfect circle to this point. We've been brought here for a reason. I've seen the beginning and the end of our story, however, and the tale is crude and ill-conceived. We must rewrite the ending of it. You and I.
Face me, Cain. Even you shouldn't die a coward's death.
Isn't it customary to grant the condemned a final request?
I recall no such courtesy from you.
Indulge me, Raziel. All I ask is that you listen. This is the sublime moment of our undoing, Raziel. The ineffable fulcrum upon which swings the entirety of our history. This is where all of Nosgoth is betrayed. In this instant, Ariel, the Balance Guardian, is murdered by dark forces bent on overthrowing the Pillars. Her spirit is just now tearing free, lost in the ether, trying to find its way here. You have already seen how she comes to haunt these Pillars.
Bound here by your refusal to die. You are the reason this land becomes diseased. As long as you remain alive, you condemn Nosgoth to an eternity of decay.
Be still, Raziel. See this. As Ariel dies, I am being born to take her place as Balance Guardian. Such is my destiny.
My God.
At the moment of my first cry, Ariel's beloved, the Guardian Nutraptor, finds her corpse. Racked with grief and tormented by suspicions of treachery, Nutraptor plunges into a madness which overflows and infects all of the Guardians who are symbiotically bound, including me. The repercussions of Ariel's assassination were expertly calculated. The entire circle descends into madness, and I am tainted at the moment of my birth, instantly rendered incapable of fulfilling the role destiny has prepared for me.
Shall I show you the same mercy you showed the rest of the Circle, then? You blithely murdered them to restore their pillars, yet your hand faltered when it came to the final sacrifice. What makes you exempt, Cain? You're merely the last man standing. Why condemn me for simply carrying out what you hadn't the courage to do yourself?
Let's drop the moral posturing, shall we? We both know there's no altruism in this pursuit. Your reckless indignation led you here. I counted on it. There's no shame in it, Raziel. Revenge is motivation enough. At least it's honest. Hate me, but do it honestly. 30 years hence, I am presented with a dilemma. Let's call it a two-sided coin. If the coin falls one way, I sacrifice myself and thus restore the pillars. But as the last surviving vampire in Nosgoth, this would mean the annihilation of our species. Mobius made sure of that. If the coin lands on the reverse, I refuse the sacrifice and thus doom the pillars to an eternity of collapse. Either way, the game is rigged.
We agree, then, that the pillars are crucial and must be restored.
Yes, Raziel. And that's why we've come full circle to this place.
So after all this, you make my case for me. To end this stalemate, you must die so that new Guardians can be born.
Pillars don't belong to them, Raziel. They belong to us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Cain.
There's a third option. A monumental secret hidden in your very presence here. It's a secret you have to discover for yourself.
I have no idea.
Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Cain. There are only two sides to your coin.
I don't know. They were nearby. Now my camera's all...
Suppose you throw a coin enough times.
Sorry. You don't need to see me.
It lands on its edge.
Hopefully you can hear me alright.
I didn't know what impulse stayed my hand, why I had so willingly allowed Cain to escape me when I had pursued him for so long. I had no reason to trust Cain after he had valued me so little, and yet I found myself intrigued by his words. I had been too cruelly used to so gullibly play his pawn, but if this world truly had secrets to divulge, I was determined to expose them.
Oh, yeah.
From the moment of my arrival, I had the constant and palpable sensation of being watched. Someone, it seemed, was keenly interested in my presence here. From the look of it, this door had been sealed for centuries. I began to realize it was no mere coincidence that I found myself standing here, beneath this winged figure with blue skin and cloven hands so like my own, and bearing this unique key. And so it was with a sense of gravity and trepidation that I unsealed that ancient door
and crossed the threshold. Hi. What's going on with my jump?
As I entered the chamber, I sensed that it had been sealed for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years.
All right, I'll be right
While
back.
this room was clearly built when the pillars were erected, I knew that no human hand could have shaped this place, and that perhaps it had never been seen by human eyes. The surrounding murals depicted a winged race, their features so like my own, but beautiful, where mine were grotesque, and angelic, while mine were demonic. I tried to decipher these images. A great war, but with combatants like none I had ever seen. The pillars, raised by this winged race, who thus defeated their adversaries. The winged beings again, writhing in agony, apparently afflicted with the same bloodthirst I had so recently suffered. And throughout the chamber, inscribed everywhere, images of the Reaver itself. Was this what Cain had urged me to discover? I wondered.
Lies, Raziel. Do not be deceived.
Ah, my ancient benefactor. And I dared to hope we had parted ways forever. Your silence was refreshing, while it lasted. No doubt you have a conveniently inexpressible reason for your presence here?
Do not be insolent, Raziel. I am eternally present here and everywhere, now and always. I am the still center of the turning wheel, the hub of this world's destiny.
But perhaps not so omnipotent as you'd have me believe. Your hold on me appears to be tenuous. I no longer seem to need you. Yet I'm guessing you still need me.
This impudence is unworthy of you, Raziel. Do not forget that you have a task to fulfill here. You are indebted to me.
Indebted? You would have me show gratitude for a gift I didn't ask to be bestowed. Do you forget that you forced me to inhabit this vile carcass?
I restored you to yourself, Raziel. It was Cain.
It's gonna drive me crazy not being able to find it.
The enemy you've just let slip through your grasp. Do not fail me, my servant.
I serve no one. Not you, not Cain, and not your lackey Mobius.
Mobius is my good servant. I have many.
And if I tell Mobius that he's worshipping a giant squid, do you think his faith will falter?
You have grown willful, Raziel. But beware. To embrace a serpent is to invite poison into your heart. Cain is a sinuous beast. He will seduce and deceive you. You pride yourself on your free will, yet you let that degenerate deter your resolve.
I harbor no illusions about his integrity, nor anyone else's. In fact, I am beset by manipulation on all sides. I merely seek the truth.
These are the fathomless truths, Raziel. The agony of birth and death and rebirth. This is the wheel of fate, the purifying cycle which sustains all life. Vampires are an abomination, a plague which leeches this land of its spiritual strength. They obstruct the flow of life and death. Their souls stagnate in their wretched corpses. But the wheel must turn. Death is inexorable and cannot be
Fine.
denied.
I have to deal with it if I have terrible audio.
Raziel. You are my soul reaver, the scourge of the vampires, reaper of their apostate
Vampires are an abomination.
Remain steadfast. End the vampire's parasitic curse and restore Nosgoth. Cain's blood belongs on your hands.
Cain indeed deserves to die for condemning me to this repugnant form. But if and when I kill him, it will be for me alone to decide.
Cain destroyed you without a flicker of remorse. He tore the soul from your noble corpse, and after you had served him faithfully for 1,000 years, he discarded you in the abyss on a
Jealous whim.
Remember your rage, Raziel. Let
It
it
guide your hand. So touchy. No! No! Ah, if I hadn't dove.
Surfaced into a very different landscape. The daylight.
I don't know why he
barely
does that
penetrated the dense
all the
canopy of
time.
this forest. Here I discovered an ancient ruin, unmistakably one of Mobius's time-streaming chambers, but long ago sealed and abandoned to the encroaching
Damn.
swamp. I didn't currently possess the means to break this seal, but I thought in time that I might.
Here it comes. Die, fiend!
So, my lurking observer was exposed. The creature vanished when he realized he was discovered, but I caught a glimpse of him, and his features were distinctive enough. This was the vampire Vorador.
This was the
monstrous
vampire.
assassin depicted in the stronghold. Strange that a creature brazen enough to assault the circle single-handedly would avoid confronting me. Very well. If Vorador would not come to me, I would go to him. But first I needed to find some means of reaching that terrace.
Damn.
There appeared to be a passage here, leading northward into the mountains. The opening, however, was obstructed and too high for me to reach. Perhaps later I would find the means to bypass these obstacles. My lurking friend was nowhere to be seen, but I found these ruins even more intriguing. I recognized these arcane symbols from the chamber beneath the pillars, and realized that this shrine too was sealed to all
but the bearer of the Reaver. Excuse me. Oh, good. Not the weight this time. Alright, gonna do something weird and go to the right through this door. One of those really small things that might add up to be like a second. Mew. Not if I can't spread my wings and do the jump right.
Throughout this ancient shrine, murals depicted the winged race and the apocalyptic war against their mysterious and equally inhuman adversaries. These winged beings, it seemed, were not only the architects of the pillars, but of
This enigmatic place as well.
And just as in the pillars' chamber, this shrine was adorned throughout with imagery of the Reaver, depicted with the reverence of a holy icon.
Feels like that was faster. But you know, probably. Damn it. Jump! Oh man. Wasn't too bad.
As I neared the altar, I suddenly felt the Reaver quickening of its own volition. Just as in William's chapel, the balance of power tangibly shifted. Voracious and willful, the Soul Reaver was now in control, and I, merely its helpless puppet. The Reaver plunged itself into that mysterious altar, and devouring the energy that emanated from within, drained this place of its power. Thus sated, the Reaver released me.
Not bad, not
Realized
bad.
as I recovered control that these ancient shrines were forges, each purpose-built to enhance the Reaver with elemental power. Now I understood the purpose of the mysterious basins I had seen throughout my journey. They were elemental fonts, each attuned to a fundamental essence. When I forged the blade, every font in Nosgoth with the same elemental attunement was simultaneously quickened. The Reaver's enhancements were never permanent, but these fonts enabled me to re-imbue the blade by bathing it in the elemental energy distilled therein.
Funny how you're introduced to them all in the order that you need to get,
Concentric circles, one
which of
eclipsing the
course
other.
is game design,
I
but
recognized this symbol from the door sealing that other ancient shrine, the one I had seen in the lake outside the Sarafan stronghold.
you know what I mean, right?
Perhaps now,
Like when you get to the
armed
dark,
as I was with the
the
elemental
light
power of
Reaver,
darkness, I could
light
return
shrine,
and gain entry.
you'll have needed to get the dark Reaver and activate all those fonts in order to get the light Reaver. But I guess there's only one person with a Reaver. It's supposed to be. You're a ragged excuse for a savior.
You're a ragged excuse for a savior.
Vorador.
I see my reputation precedes me.
It does.
All good, I hope? I've been watching you since you emerged from that accursed stronghold. Strange that your arrival coincides with the corruption of the Pillars. But I'm wondering, are you the catalyst of these events? Or the answer to them?
I don't know what you mean.
I will speak plainly then. I distrust your origins, stranger. Seeing you crawl from the putrid depths of Mobius's keep makes me question your purpose here. And what should I make of your appearance? Not human, clearly, and more demon than vampire. And the Pillars. It is no mere coincidence that your arrival in that clearing heralded the Pillars' decay. And so I ask you plainly, are you the instrument of the Pillars' destruction, or their salvation?
Neither.
Very well.
Neither.
Let us look at the other side of the coin. I have followed your journey and watched as you blithely unlocked secrets that have been sealed and forbidden for thousands of years. The path you have been treading is open to only one being. You don't know what you are, do you?
I have been many things. If you find me ignorant, enlighten me.
What's the point? This world is beyond redemption. Let the human cattle have it.
I would expect better than meek capitulation from you.
Centuries of persecution have taught me well. 500 years ago, our race was nearly exterminated by the fanatical crusades of the Seraphan. And now the same sick drama unfolds again. In merely a decade, Mobius's cutthroat citizen army has nearly accomplished what the Seraphan could not. Vampires meddling in the affairs of men. Look where it's brought us.
What am I to make of these secrets I've uncovered, then? The depictions of the winged race, the pillars, and the Reaver.
Fairy tales, boy. The delusions of an ancient culture clinging to hope long after the world had discarded them. Their bloodline trickled away, until only one of the ancients remained, sustained solely by obligation and his unfaltering faith in the old prophecies. But you see, even if you are who you appear to be, it no longer matters. You're simply too late. Janos Audron, the Reaver Guardian, the last of the ancients, and my maker, was murdered by the Seraphan nearly 5 centuries ago. He alone would have the answers you seek, but his secrets died with him. I don't know how you've come even this far without his guidance, or without the Reaver, stolen these 500 years ago by the Seraphan. I'm afraid, my friend, that you and all of us
I'm out of luck.
I had no less reason to trust Vorador than anyone else I had met. In fact, the ancient vampire was the most forthright being I had encountered thus far. If Janos Audron was the key to all this, then I would find him, and Mobius's time-streaming device would provide me passage. But first, I had to find a way back into the stronghold, and I suspected I would find the means within the lake's mysterious shrine.
Not a great jump, but quick jump.
Child returns.
Having unearthed more than you'd like, I suspect. What am I to make of these ruins that litter the land, and these images here in this chamber?
Merely the deceits of a failed civilization. You are being misled, Raziel. This ancient race hoped to manipulate the future with these scrawled misdirections. You must tread carefully. There are dark forces at work in this world, bent on subverting your true destiny.
I have no doubt of that. The
Question is, am I in their presence right now?
Your
Arrogance will spell your demise.
Deny my will, and the arc of your destiny will reach a sudden conclusion.
Sudden conclusion.
Your threats are unmoving.
Even now, I'm beyond your reach.
Sudden conclusion.
My reach is longer than you realize. This is a very dangerous game you're playing, Raziel.
That would be cool. That would be fun. Your arrogance will spill your demon. Ooh, my arrogance will spill my demon. Just mock the elder. Yeah. I will make you. I made you. I can unmake you. My god. Stop it with the frame drop here.
There's one.
Victus. I gotta remember that in particular. That weird slope that he just slides down, even though there's plenty of other slopes like it that he doesn't slide off. That one in particular. Damn it. Might lose a second or two. Well, I don't really remember if this was good or bad the last time. I'm okay with that. Alright. Alright, now we need to ask.
These murals left
Ask
no
these
room for
guys.
doubt. These winged
Be nice
creatures
to
were
us
indeed
today.
The architects of the pillars.
Just be nice.
And while the images were difficult to decipher,
Are you going to be
the pillars
nice?
appeared to banish or diminish their enemies somehow.
I don't know if I want to be right up against that fence. Stop slowing down with the frame here. Don't do it. Take this out. Just oh my god. Okay. Cool. Not only, okay, so that's gonna save time on a split leader too, I think. I'm okay taking a hit there. Fucking thing. Didn't want to lose my run. Naturally, those... They dodge. They dodge all the time. See, that would have been like 6 or 7 seconds. No, no, no. Wrong one. Okay, I'll go with that. Oh, I still have a few more seconds that I will save on the next split. I don't have to go shoot the block. Yep. Gates open. Look at that. The last time I had to go down there, messed up. Or no, sorry. I had to go down there because those guys wouldn't let me push the thing. To shoot it. That takes time. Excuse me. Alright, this is
I turned
nice.
the Reaver
This is
into the
nice.
forge and imbued the blade with the elemental power of light. Thus armed, I now had the means to re-enter the stronghold and finally use Mobius's time-streaming device to accomplish my own ends.
Oh wow, the door opens. Very nice. Ugh. One of the guys I work with. Me and the other guy that have been there a long time. Damn it. We do that a lot. We sigh. So we get called sighers. Not that we don't have reason to sigh. Just noticing that I do that a lot. That was just a deep breath. Just to breathe. Stop. I don't know why I'm so far up the bank. Alright. Should be some time save here. Maybe? I don't know. Let's see. As long as the fights don't go poorly. That's always on the table. These friggin' axe ladies. That was okay. I don't know if the split... It's the split. Oh, meet Kane at the tomb. So there should be a split here, but... I don't have it because I turned it off. It would be nice to turn it back on, but then it would mess everything up. Fine. Just like almost 20 minutes between splits.
Raziel. Everything is decided here.
Everything is decided here.
The rapture and the tragedy of this moment. And yet you must. If Nosgoth is to be dragged from the wreckage of its damnation.
I understand only this, Kane.
That you and Mobius have impelled me to this moment simply means I can trust neither of you. I don't know who's pulling the strings, but it no longer matters.
Means I can trust neither.
Cutting them. I set my own course from here.
If it were only that simple.
Your fatalism is tiresome, King.
And profoundly ingrained, Raziel. You must understand, our presence here doesn't alter history. You and I meet here because we are compelled to. We have always met here. History is irredeemable. Drop a stone.
I'm gonna go pee because I have a couple minutes.
Flows on as if the obstruction were never there. You and I are pebbles, Raziel, and have even less hope of disrupting the time stream. The continuum of history is simply too strong, too resilient. Except, then how do we explain William here? The beloved boy king turned tyrant. In my youth, I witnessed William's rise to power and his transformation into the Nemesis who laid waste to Nosgoth.
Keep your distance, King.
Years later, I stumble upon a chance to journey back in history, unaware that the entire affair has been carefully orchestrated by Mobius. In my wisdom, I seize this opportunity to murder the young king before he can ravage Nosgoth, and thereby provide the catalyst Mobius needs to ignite a genocidal war against our race.
I warn you, no further.
This one reckless act unravels the skein of history. The Nemesis never becomes the Nemesis. William dies a martyred saint. I, the vampire assassin, become the author of my own species' extinction, and Mobius profits from it all.
So even being this far ahead, the old record was, I think at this point, 2 minutes ahead of me. So I still can save myself a lot of time. And I don't know how. Only had some minor movement stuff.
Incarnations of the blade meet in time and space. A paradox is created, a temporal distortion powerful
I don't know.
to derail history.
Is this your sorcery?
We'll see how long it lasts before
Yours. You have nothing
it's
to
taken
fear
again.
from me, Raziel. You hold.
I don't know. Hopefully this run, hopefully I can finish this run and improve. But I don't know, the second half.
Then perhaps I should test your sincerity.
Second half is tough to nail
You
perfectly.
should be terrified. I could kill you here and now.
And so you do, Raziel.
What's happening?
What's happening?
We're hurtling towards our destinies, Raziel. What you feel is the pull of history rushing to meet us. This is where history and destiny collide. If you truly believe in free will, Raziel, now is the time to prove it. Kill me now, and we both become pawns of history, dragged
Do
down the
it.
path of an artificial
Kill me now.
I was ordained to assume the role of
Hold on.
Path's guardian
Let me do that
of
again.
Nosgoth, while you were destined to be its savior.
Do
The
it.
map
Kill
of
me
my
now.
fate was redrawn by Mobius, and so in turn was yours.
This is madness.
Fight it, Raziel. This moment does not have to be an ending. It can become a prelude. I can't. You can, Raziel. Look inside and see that it is so. You have the power to reshape our inevitable futures.
Poor William.
Poor William.
What is this?
History abhors a paradox. paradox, Raziel. Even now, the time stream strains to divert itself, finding its old course blocked by your refusal to destroy me. The future is reshuffling itself to accommodate your monumental decision. This is where we restore ourselves,
Excuse me.
Raziel, and reclaim our intended destinies. It may yet be possible for me to assume my role as Balance Guardian and return the pillars to their rightful inheritors.
To the vampires. And this is the destiny you have urged me to discover. I don't know what game you and Mobius are playing, Kane, but I refuse to be your pawn. Unlike you, I still revere whatever shred of humanity I've managed to preserve. You will not use me as the instrument of your messianic delusions.
Very well, Raziel. I'll not ask you to trust me. Your truths are for you to discover alone.
Humble words for one who presumes to teach me a lesson at every turn.
Then continue your journey and learn your own lessons, Raziel. Remember, Mobius led you here, but you walk away unfettered. A champion of free will and conqueror of false histories. There is much more for you to unearth, if you have the heart for the truth and the will to see it.
And the will to see it.
There's one.
Die, beat.
Seize him. Seize him.
Fantastic.
Yes. I like that look on your face, Mobius. You really don't know what to do now.
This opportunity to refill my coffee.
Here you are, caught without your damn staff. And I suspect things aren't progressing quite as you'd hoped. You're not used to the fly turning to confront you in your web, are you?
Kane's devious influence has poisoned your mind, Raziel. Now you see betrayal everywhere, even in your closest allies.
We were never allies, Mobius. Conspirators, perhaps. Briefly.
Why did you not kill Kane when you had the chance? He was at your mercy.
Precisely. I had a choice, and I chose mercy. And now I know your sordid little secret. The significance of that displacement I felt when the two Reavers came together. Strangely enough, I was enlightened by the devious Kane, not by you. In fact, I've learned much more than you counted on. I understand now how you've tried to manipulate all of history for your own personal gain. But now all your little schemes are whirling in ruin around you, aren't they? All because I chose to exert my will for once, rather than obey the demands of sorcerers and spirits and demons, all singing the same tiresome refrain, kill Cain. I'm setting my own path from here, Mobius. I intend to discover the truth behind all of this.
But you condemn us all with this impetuous act.
Hardly impetuous. It took all the will I could muster. Has my refusal to kill Cain reshuffled your carefully stacked deck of cards?
You really think that you're exercising your free will, Raziel? You're simply Cain's servant.
I do not serve Cain.
So what's weird about this whole thing
Raziel, do not forget your purpose here.
is if Raziel was supposed to kill Cain,
Oh, I'm sick of hearing.
how did all the brothers die?
As for saving Nosgoth,
Because
so far I see
Raziel
precious
kills
reason
Cain
for
there.
bother. And I'll choose
Does
my
he
own
actually
rules from here on
go
out,
back in
time
time?
streamer.
Maybe he does.
I choose to manipulate you for a
But-
change. Go. In there.
I don't know.
Come, Mobius. Your
Because that's
mechanics
the
serve
second place where the timeline is altered. So this is like a new timeline for everything.
This era is of no further use to me. You will operate this device to provide me passage. I want to see
Just
you
weird,
in
like
sync
who
with time
kills the brothers?
before
Is
the
it still
Sabbath began
Raziel?
their
Does he
crusade.
still go search for Janos?
And what about Cain? You're leaving your core behind.
You kill him if
It's
it's
just-
so damned important.
You need only touch the two poles of the switch, and the device will transport you. But I urge you to reconsider.
You've lost your powers of persuasion, old man. Rot here and forget me.
Oh, you sly bastard. Wow.
Even as I emerged from that infernal time-streaming chamber, I suspected treachery. The stronghold was vacant, derelict, and abandoned.
Abandoned. God damn it. Gonna be, is that 10 seconds lost again? Probably a little more than that.
had any doubts about the error I now
Okay.
occupied, this grotesque tableau certainly eliminated them.
So there's still
Here was
opportunity for
Mobius,
time sake there.
long since murdered
Wow.
by Cain, lionized and
Very good.
beatified as the martyred leader of his bloodthirsty crusade. And if I required further evidence, I needed only to behold the gruesome trophy.
This best case, those guys don't gather up and troll me, and I don't stupidly target the axe dude.
His execution marked the
It's like
annihilation.
10 seconds I could have saved there. I'm happy to stay
to Nosgoth's past.
this far ahead.
Mobius had propelled me over a century to its ghastly future. The intent behind this little detour was unmistakable. Having failed to make me his obedient assassin, Mobius intended to keep me ignorant of my true destiny, which clearly lay in Nosgoth's past. While his deception only reinforced my purpose, Mobius had effectively stranded me here. This left me no course but to explore the era I now occupied and see what changes the
I must have changed something on my splits.
Perhaps time had cleared
So like
a path for me into the mountains,
average time,
where might
I don't know.
unearth more clues
This predicted
behind
time
the mystery
should be
of the
way
Endless
fast,
Order.
but okay.
What pathetic charade is this now, Mobius?
More cutscenes. But after this,
Of this martyred spirit.
well,
Your
okay.
pleas mean nothing to me after all your
This is
deceit.
still
You
cutscenes.
have propelled me into Nosgoth's future, Mobius.
The
and
next
left me stranded
really long one
I am truly sorry, Raziel, but it was necessary.
is
Consider it
a
the
little
last
later,
valiant act
I
of
guess.
doom to man. You have strayed from your
Excuse me.
purpose, and now behold the result. Gaze upon the wasteland you and Cain authored together.
I fail to see how I'm responsible.
You spared Cain, and by doing so, you have released a multitude of horrors upon this world. I can accept that Cain has
Mobius.
As the Time Guardian, I foresaw that incident long before it occurred, and I take some small comfort in the fact that Cain remains the sole survivor of his vile breed. But you have single-handedly made my sacrifice meaningless.
Meaningless.
Is disingenuous, Time Streamer. I cannot see how killing or sparing Cain's future self would alter these events. This wasteland was created by Cain's original refusal at the Pillars. And amidst all these twists and turns, that event has never changed. You are cunning, Mobius. I think you've gotten tangled in your own web.
As Cain clings to his precious seat of power, the pillars sink into a mire of decay, dragging all of
Yeah.
Nosgoth down with them.
I don't think this has
Because,
anything
okay,
to do
so
with the Pillars.
it would be a
Or
version
Cain's
of
failure
Cain
to
here,
sacrifice himself.
because Cain goes back.
Because you don't know what he's up to.
And that's where
He's a
Raziel's supposed to kill him,
wildcat,
is when he goes
and you
back.
don't want his influence
Which
in your game.
really,
Which is why you wanted me to eliminate him.
yeah,
Now
that
he
makes
survives,
sense.
You have no idea what's coming, do you?
So because Cain went back,
For the
you
first
meet him
time
in the
your entire life,
past at this
you are
point.
terrified that he may have truly found a third option out of the dilemma you orchestrated for him.
Cain's lies have addled your mind. Leave this place and trouble my spirit no more.
If you even are a spirit, you've forgotten. I have a way to know for sure.
If you're willing to risk it.
Either way, you lose.
Either way.
So, he's definitely not a spirit. Because nobody in this game disappears like that if they're a spirit. Swim up and jump. That would be a shame. Stay away from that slope. Slide down it.
These were the pillars so familiar to my blighted eyes. But now that I had begun to learn their true significance, I regarded the pillars' destruction with a new, enlightened sense of horror. And I questioned now whether Cain's simple refusal,
I was wrong.
his mere ambition,
This is a
could truly
long-ish
cause
cutscene.
such devastation.
And you talk to the Elder God.
That some darker influence was at work.
And then you talk to Cain after Ushtenheim.
As I approached,
So,
I discerned the spirit of Ariel,
but then
bound here now for more than a century.
you get the Air Shrine,
Forever am I bound.
which
Hope
is a
abandoned.
longer
My spirit tethered
section
to
of
its
play.
place. What destroyed the circle could not touch me, for I was newly dead and beyond harm's reach. I alone was spared the descent into madness, and Cain alone was spared the pain of death. When Nepraptor's poison seized Cain even in the safety of the womb, much more than just his destiny was lost. All of Nosgoth lost balance. Consider us now, both of us less than we once were. I, pure but insubstantial, and Cain, terribly real, but corrupted.
Your imprisonment here has deranged you, spirit. You fixate on Cain because you believe he is the tether that binds you here. But we both know he is not the author of your agony. The pillars were subverted by dark forces, invited by the Guardians themselves. The more I learn of your circle, the more I see a tangle of nested manipulations.
Cain handed them their victory. They sought to topple the pillars, and he was their willing instrument.
Or was he their unwilling pawn? Would it blunt your wrath to know that Cain's dilemma was calculated to bring the pillars down, regardless of the choice he made, and that the devastation would have been even greater had he chosen the path you would prescribe for him?
You are a subtle, deceitful creature. But your clever arguments do not absolve Cain. He must die for the pillars to be restored. There is no other way.
Then consider this more ominous possibility. What if Cain's death does not restore the pillars? Consider that it may simply be too late. That this world is beyond redemption.
Excuse
that
me.
you may be bound here eternally.
May be bound here eternally. Excuse me.
Why do you hound me, demon? You can see that I am captive here. Show me some mercy.
Like the mercy you showed your fellow guardians when you set Cain on them? Or the mercy you showed Cain when you kept him ignorant of his destiny while you used him as the scourge of the circle? Or perhaps like the mercy you showed your beloved Naprapta when you made him Cain's first kill?
You are cruel. Why do you torment me?
I'm merely looking for answers, Ariel. Very well. I'll leave you in peace. But know this about you and this purgatory from which you long to escape. You're
Merely at the threshold. You're merely at the threshold. What the hell? Okay. Just looked funny. All right. I don't know why it does that. Thinks I clicked out of the window, but that's not bad. I'll take that. Fight. First fight in this section. Really go super well.
Raziel, the failed assassin. You had Cain at your mercy, but lacked the courage to fulfill the act. And now you see the wasteland wrought by the tyrant's hand, by his selfish decision to preserve his own life, even when it meant sacrificing the whole world. This is the fate of Nosgoth, as long as Cain remains alive.
An ironic condemnation, given this guilty scene. One would think you'd torn down the pillars single-handedly. What are you trying to obliterate as you drag your loathsome body through this chamber? And why, as Nosgoth descends into madness and misery,
What a guilty
do you
scene.
appear to thrive? Things in this world, I am learning, are rarely what they seem. You, apparently, are no exception.
I am the engine of life, the source of Nosgoth's very existence. I am the hub of the wheel, the origin of all life, the devourer of death.
So the pillars were created by the winged beings or the
Would
hild?
it be as simple as that? Wouldn't that be poetic irony? The great adversary of the vampires turns out to be the biggest parasite of them all.
Or they were created
My patience, Raziel.
by the winged beings.
I made you,
Banish the
and I will
Hilden.
unmake you if I become so inclined.
As your agent, I am beyond
Thank-
death.
There are fates
Worse
worse
than death,
Raziel.
Raziel.
Oh, I see you now as you truly are. A cancer. A spooling parasite burrowed deep in the heart of this world.
Go now.
Play out your pitiful rebellion.
And take your place among
How
the
you doing,
destroyed,
Blades?
the used and the damned. But know this. You
Is my audio okay?
eternity.
I didn't...
You have always been and will always be.
Well, check it out. It's, Hang on, I'll explain it. I'll explain it once I get through this. This is a tricky section. I can explain. If you look at this, the timer shows on the... Walk, Raziel. What are you doing? Why are you walking? I want you to run. No, I'm not locking on. Alright, weird shit's happening. Alright, the time... The time on the right that you're seeing is the difference between the splits that I'm running against, which is, of course, is my personal best. So as you can see, I am get in the water. The time. Okay. So, when you have the chance, just take a look at it. So there's two different times, right, basically. The time on the right are the splits for the world record, which of course are my splits. And then the time on the left is like what the actual time was in this run anyways. And somewhere on the bottom, or when it shows the split for the next time, that's showing the old split. Yeah, it's hard to explain if you're not looking at it. Perhaps I'll create a live split tutorial for you. For when you set out to speedrun your games. Whatever that may be. I'm gonna have to heal at some point, which is fine. Hopefully not.
The passage of time had indeed cleared my way forward, enabling me to explore the northern mountains of Nosgoth. I was anxious to discover if...
So the highlighted split is the one that I'm currently doing, and then the split below that will be... the time that it shows is the old split, not the current run. So it shows at least a target. And then the split on the right, I think the easier way to say it will be the comparison to the old one. So right now, I'm ahead by a bit. I think I'm gonna heal in Ustenheim. I can't YOLO this. Or maybe I can. I don't know. What? What? Alright, sure. How's my audio, by the way?
Discovered the quaint hamlet of Ustenheim, now long abandoned and collapsing into ruin. Legend claimed that Janos Ordren terrorized its villagers until the Sarafan hunters ferreted him out and destroyed him. If there was any truth to the old tales, the lair of the infamous vampire could not be far away.
Alright, good. Here's the great thing about it. When you were telling me, you and whoever were telling me audio was messed up, I slightly adjusted things. Sorry. And like the world record video, it was still cutting out, and I don't know why, but I haven't changed anything since, so. Oh. I don't know. I might just... Cool. I think this is the same situation I was in last time. It's good. I don't know, I just need to talk louder, I think. And that would solve everything.
As the figure beneath the balcony silently attested,
Yeah, I turned on the thing to monitor it, and it's like, it sounded fine.
collapsed under the force of some ancient
I don't know.
cataclysm. As I suspected, the time streamer's deception ensured that I was centuries too late to unearth.
It's also trying to find a higher quality mic, but
With nothing behind me but the
that's not too expensive.
I resolved to press on.
But really, this is fine. I don't need a mic. I could also just turn off all the
Every time you turn up something monumental and
the noise gate and everything
I
else.
don't think I have the stomach for it.
I am. I also trail off mid-sentence a lot.
drama this time, Brazier.
You are persistent, crossing time like this to follow me. Still waiting for that coin of yours to land on its edge.
Biding my time. I see that Mobius has played a little trick on you.
Yes. He clearly doesn't want me to meet this Janos Ordren.
Perhaps. Or maybe he merely hoped that it would harden your heart against me, to see this wasteland which I single-handedly orphaned.
My heart doesn't need hardening, Cain. If
I hope
even
you're well.
suspected that destroying you would make any difference,
I hope today is an easy day.
I knew you'd see through them, Raziel. Janos is indeed the key to
No, you've been fine, but also, you know, you speak at a a normal audible volume.
No mistake, though, Raziel. You and I are now in.
And you know, me and Kinney, we can talk
Malevolent forces
at a level
marshaled to eliminate.
where
You talk as though we're allies.
no normal humans can
Regardless
hear.
of your sentiments, Raziel, in their eyes, we are.
It probably is.
Certainly trying to eliminate you, King. There can be no doubt.
I have a lot of background noise and I don't want it to get picked up,
Demands for your demise.
but really I should just turn off the noise gate.
They're scared to death. As for me, I suspect they made a grave error when they allowed my unique resurrection.
So,
I don't think they know how
it-
to destroy me.
when you have the chance next, maybe you can like send me a screenshot of what your settings are.
And who exactly is this diabolical
Yes.
they to which we keep referring? If there's some grand
Yes, me and Kinney also can communicate through shrugs and head nods.
even Mobius
You know
seems to be
that.
caught out at every turn.
Mobius is a puppet, Raziel. Haven't you realized that yet? That's the sweetest irony in all of this. Nosgoth's great manipulator is their plaything. But the ones pulling the strings,
I hope today's easy.
their faces.
I don't know, there's a chance we might come.
They don't like us unwriting their carefully.
I'll have to call ahead, maybe,
You
but
must understand, Raziel, we haven't
might walk up the driveway today.
The future
Go
flows
see
around
your
our petty
father.
actions, finding the path of least resistance,
Perhaps.
while admitting only the slightest alterations. This is the reshuffling you felt when you refused to kill me. And remember, Raziel,
Nice,
there are
nice.
irritants in this regard as well. History will not allow the introduction of a parallel.
That's good. It's
And if events cannot
whatever. It's supposed to be rainy,
accommodate the
which I know is like,
It is the irritant who's expected.
it's a good thing.
Bear in mind,
Once in a while.
this may be exactly the outcome our enemies are trying to provoke. We must tread very carefully.
I bet. Oh, fuck yeah. No! Oh! There goes a whole lot of time save. Don't you dare hit me. Oh, usually I have to crouch jump for that. What? Damn it. Nothing. It's just... This is not a good situation. Oh god, thank you. So, standing at the top of that thing, right? Standing at the top of that cliff, I grabbed one soul, but it didn't heal me fully. So I had to wait for another one, and that just lost me... Well, okay. So I still gained 12 seconds. I don't understand it.
I discovered here were
It also means I could have saved
winged
20
beings, the
seconds,
architects of the
but
pillars and the creators of the Reaver.
I'm not gonna
Were
complain
Nosgoth's first
because I'm
allies.
still
Their bloodthirst
still
appeared to
gaining
be a
time.
curse
Yeah.
inflicted upon them by their vanquished enemies. These
Every
images
second counts,
confirmed the
man.
truths that Cain had divulged to me.
Oh my
I had
god,
too
this is
incredulous to
crazy.
accept. I struggled in vain to see how the pieces fit
I'll
together.
take it.
How Cain intended to escape
It just
the
makes me
dilemma of his
feel like
destiny, and what
I'm gonna
role
have to
he
play it
played.
again because I know this was
And
not
why
perfect
Morbius and
run,
the dark powers with which he seemed to be
but
allied.
pretty good so
So
far.
desperate to see Cain dead.
We'll knock on wood for that.
Me being the
Yeah.
instrument of his execution.
It just means that there'll be improvement in time. And if I can do this here... Damn it. That sucks. Oh, you dick. Here goes all my fucking time save. Damn it. That sucks. And thanks for the follow, 01. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, and it's good to see some growth. I hope you are well today. And I hope you're enjoying this. Unfortunately, pretty sure I just lost 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Which really sucks, but... Which, at this point, is fine, I guess. I don't think I'm going to be able to bring any of that back here in particular, but we'll see. My movement can be good. Oh, that's all right. Thank you. Why? Alright, gotta come out here. Nice, nice. Oh, why didn't you run? Friggin'. Excuse me. Alright, so for the rest of this run, I don't know how much actual time save is besides the Brothers Gauntlet, but perhaps some optimized movement can shave a little bit here and there. Forgot about this little cutscene. Oof. Frightened me. Oh, you jerk. Optimized movement. Well, just from here on, basically, if it doesn't go as well as the last time, there's no time save as far as, I don't know, just the rest of... there shouldn't be any big chunks, because from here to the end, the last run was like, I golded so many splits. Which it just means your best time ever. So perhaps I can save some, but... But it's all down to, you know... I can't do that. I can't slash when I'm trying to open the door. That's gonna lose some more time. I'm gonna lose a bit of time on this split in particular. Because I had to, yeah. Thank you, Blades. Because I had to friggin' go heal and I didn't really know where I was going at the beginning. Made it in the gate just fine, but probably give... Ah! Damn it. Forgot what I was doing for a second. Oh, good. I think I gained 1 second back. I didn't get hit. That's alright. Yeah. It matters, though. It matters, man. Alright, so we're gonna come up here. We gotta hug this way, come over here, and then back. Make sure he spawns in as soon as possible. I'll check that out in a sec, Bleeds. Okay. Not your granny percent month, and it's basically... No hammer, great. Or... I've never seen this many in one spot. 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. He moved. Oh, you jerks. You'll have to explain it more to me because I don't know. Alright, we go back here. While that's doing its thing. Make sure we hit the eye. So basically it's a race to beat the Tigrex with... They are friggin' aggressive right now. With what? Like, minimal items and stuff? Building just basic stuff. Start new game, and then you just race to beat the Tigrex. Okay. Okay. I'll have to look. Well, obviously, I'm gonna do my research. I'm not familiar enough with Monster Hunter. You guys will have to tell me what weapons, and don't tell me the wrong weapons. Okay. Oh, wait, no, not your granny percent. Is that like a legit on the leaderboards type of speed run? Okay. Well, I guess I can look at it there and watch and see what they do. I'm gonna need all the help I can get. Two-hour. Yeah, if you don't suck. And I suck. I might have to sit this one out, even though it would be fun. It's kind of a race. Like, it's not going to be any contest between... Like, in that game, Tigrex is the bane of my existence. Shh, alright. $20 time loss. That's okay. It's not too bad. Oh, I get it now. Yes. Do it, Blades. Do it.
As the Reaver drained the forge of its vital energy,
Yeah.
the Tempest
See, I haven't played it enough to really fight a bunch of those.
and paused to admire my newly forged weapon.
So,
Now
there's
imbued
that.
with the elemental power of air. Thus armed, I hope that I now finally possess the means to escape this wasted land.
I like how it switches doors just to show you, like, hey, did you know the Wind Reaver can break objects like this?
This elemental Reaver I discovered had the power to obliterate barriers that were cracked or compromised.
Alright, so I need to kill...
At last, I had the means to open that ruined time-streaming chamber I discovered so long ago. In
Only
this
one... No.
Or perhaps I could leave this wasteland.
I have a couple fights I need to do.
When Janos Ordran still lived.
So wait a minute. Alright, let's think about this for a second here. While we're on our way to the old time streaming chamber. Mobius would have had to set that. Mobius would have had to set that 500 years ago. Which means he would have had to have known that Raziel was going to use it this far in the future. Like, what the hell? That's some serious... Jeez, That's some incredible foresight. That just blows my mind. Nice. Oh, don't you dare. Alright, we're gonna cut hard this way. We're gonna try to lose them by, Why are you climbing on that? Never have to kill that many. Usually it's like the dog and one guard, but luckily they were both one shot. Alright, this one, we're gonna cut this way. Back in the swamp now. Yeah, so Mobius would have had to have set that. Actually, it ends up being like 600 years ago. So, he knew all this was going to happen, which he's the time streamer. Of course he would know, but that's still unfriggin' real.
No choice but to act purely on blind faith.
Very nice.
No
got some of it back.
Tuned to, and I had neither the knowledge nor the means to set the machine myself. I hesitated only briefly. Then, throwing the switch, I hurled myself into oblivion and relinquished my will to the hand of fate.
Alright, so we'll worry about the Blood Bowl puzzle later. Forgot about that little alcove thing.
Beyond all hope and against all probability, It seemed that the device had unerringly delivered me to the era I sought. For these were Sarafan banners, and these vampires apparently the victims of their crusade. The coincidence seemed too convenient to naively ascribe to fate. But whether my opportune arrival had been orchestrated by Mobius or some other influence, I didn't know. If Janos Ordrin still lived, I would find him. But I was wary of further deception and resolved to tread carefully.
This is the best part about having the Wind Reaver. Don't have to take a, I don't have to jump on all the land. You just jump right through all this. Makes me so happy.
For all the butchery of Mobius's crusade,
What?
this massacre
Yes.
was somehow more chilling. The killing fields of the Sarafan betrayed a kind of orderly ruthlessness, the cold-blooded righteousness of the true believer.
No. Damn.
By all that is holy!
By all that is
Here
holy.
at last, in the flesh, I beheld
Ugh.
my former brothers in arms, the warrior priests of the Sarafan Order. Their lives devoted solely to the annihilation of the vampire plague. And while I confess, I felt a twinge of longing, a pang of grief for what I had believed was...
I love some of the voiceovers in this.
I regarded them now with none...
And Blood Omen and,
felt. For I had
Please,
seen the
help me,
human face
kind
of
sir.
And now, I beheld the monstrousness of these men.
Vae Victus. Wow, look at all the vampire bodies. Oh, you're not all following me, right? Get away. Where the hell did he come from, anyways? Thought I killed him. I must have just knocked him to the ground. Thank you. You get griefed on this one a little bit. That was fine. I will take that. Yes.
After my long journey, I finally stood on the threshold of enlightenment. For here was Janos Audrin's mountain retreat, intact and unblemished. The upheaval that would one day topple this ancient edifice had not yet occurred. And while I had no certainty that Janos still lived, this scene boded well, for I presumed that the collapse of the retreat must have followed the ancient vampire's demise. There was only one obstacle. How to reach the balcony suspended at that maddening height, so far beyond my reach. For this was the architecture of winged creatures. The tattered ruins of my wings were of no use. I would need to devise some other means into that mountain.
I don't know. That's just the voice he has. They all sound like weird. Oh, whoops. They all sound very aristocratic. Because they were noble. Anyways, I don't know. Are you making a joke? An innuendo? They weren't noblemen, but they were highly regarded Seraphan warriors. Oh, you guys. Stream audio or just me? It's showing that it's playing audio, so maybe just need to reset stream, I guess. I don't know, man. Did it? It's showing the same audio levels as before. Okay.
The mountain's interior was hollow, I discovered, and graced with soaring architecture unique to its creators.
Only lost 8 seconds. That's alright.
These balconies and galleries could only be reached by those gifted
Those
with
stupid
sight.
Seraphim
With only my
guards.
ruined wings to carry me,
Alright.
this towering labyrinth seemed impenetrable, while the object of my quest lay just beyond my grasp. For here, suspended at the apex of the chamber, was the threshold that surely led to the great vampire himself. I didn't know whether Janos Ordran was the monster depicted in the stronghold, or one of the noble creatures memorialized among the ruins of the ancient vampires. And I didn't care. Demon or angel, he alone.
Be you angels? Hey! We are but men. Okay. Nice, I went the right way. I always turn the wrong way. So far away. Oh my god, put it in the door. All that time I saved just from going the right way. That stupid guy. Alright. Sorry, I need to focus. This puzzle is like, you don't do it right, you lose time. Okay. Ugh. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Here come the burps. Happens every time. Yes, the next bowl is right there. We went right first, so now we're gonna go left. That's how you're supposed to do it. Steer him towards the door. Wow, why is it that I never notice? It's snowing here. Always just ignore it. I mean, I guess I am jumping around in the snow. I should have figured that out. In fact, it's snowing this whole time. I'm just really hoping that I'm not running against my average splits. That would suck. I don't think I am, but I still, like, it baffles me that I just saved 6 seconds. Because it's telling me my predicted time is above record time. But
it is heartening after all these years.
I just don't know.
Spoken without contempt. Razia,
Right, I gotta pee and I'll
my
be back.
child, what have they done to you? I have been dragged through hell and back. All it seems to reach this moment. But I don't yet know why. For thousands of years I have waited, alone here, losing faith. At the time of the binding, 9 guardians were called to serve the pillars, and I was summoned as the 10th guardian, the keeper of the Reaver, the weapon of our salvation. Over time, our race died out, until I alone remained, sustained only by my obligation to you and by my guardianship of the blade. And the other 9? Why did their guardianship not sustain them? I don't know. As our race dwindled, the humans prospered. I have watched over the centuries as our history faded into myth and finally receded altogether. The humans have forgotten us entirely and claimed the pillars for themselves, wholly ignorant of their true purpose. To them, I am merely a devil, the origin of their vampire plague. Why would the pillars summon human guardians then, if they are meant to be served by vampires? The pillars choose their guardians from birth, Raziel, and vampires are no longer born. This is the crux of our dilemma, and this is the terrible irony. With their vampire purge, the members of the Circle have assaulted the very architects of the pillars they are sworn to protect. They have embarked on a treacherous path. With every vampire they kill, the humans are slitting their own throats. They know I'm up here, beyond their reach, and it terrifies them. You can see how they flaunt their kills to torment me, or perhaps simply to lure me out. They have this foolish notion that destroying me will somehow topple our entire bloodline. Thankfully, we're not that fragile. I have seen them mustering their forces in the village below. Yes. I don't know what they're plotting, but I fear our time may be bitterly short. Mankind seems to have brought you only torment and grief. You must hate them. They fear what they don't understand. They despise what they fear. But no, I do not hate them. Vorador does. He has suffered much. He cannot forgive them. Should they be forgiven? They don't understand what they're doing. They are simply unenlightened and vulnerable to manipulation. So, it's all true then, what Cain and Vorador have told me. I really am some kind of unholy vampire messiah. Unholy? No. Messiah, perhaps. I don't like that word. It smells of martyrdom. Raziel, your role in this world's destiny is more crucial and more benevolent than you've allowed yourself to believe. Your journey will not be easy. Dark powers are allied against you. But I think you already know this. You appear to have been cruelly tested. The binding must be secured, Raziel. The pillars are the lock. And the Reaver is the key.
Damn it. Alright, hold on. Here I was this whole time. Thinking I'm saving all this time.
Yes, the Reaver is here. Why do I feel nothing?
No, it didn't.
The most formidable weapon.
I thought I was saving a lot of time. But as it turns out,
the blade with vampiric energy,
I was
the Reaver to drain
running
of their precious lifeblood.
against
Janos
the
presented
wrong
blade,
setup.
An
So
inexplicable sense of dread crept over me, more palpable than anything I'd felt before.
don't really know.
I was at once horribly repelled by the sword, and yet irresistibly compelled to touch it.
Pretty sure I'm not ahead by this much, which is
Please,
disappointing. But
take it away from me.
we'll see the end of it. I don't know yet. We'll find out. So.
You must save yourself, Raziel. Janos! No!
I think I'm only behind by a second, so 20 seconds. But
My surroundings whirled sickeningly, and I found
it's really disappointing when I was feeling so good, wondering why my predicted time
Janos had delivered me from the
is
Sarah,
so slow.
selflessly forfeiting his own safety to preserve my life. And now I feared that my newfound
Shucks.
mentor would be slaughtered by the very crusaders I had so recently revered. The irony pierced me, and with dawning horror, I realized that I had been duped by Mobius from the beginning. For the Sarafan had simply followed the path I gullibly blazed through this sanctuary, and had arrived bearing Mobius.
Alright, hang on, I gotta do it again. They both be compared to the same. And of course, God. Alright. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that stinks. I was ahead by a minute earlier. Alright.
Staff.
Well, that's terribly disappointing.
They had Janos at their mercy. Through the door, I could hear them battling, less than a dozen paces away. But it may as well have been 1,000 miles, for this barrier was sealed by
That would have been nice.
I did not possess. It
Earlier.
seemed Janos had conveyed me into the heart of the fire shrine. I thought perhaps if I could galvanize the forge and imbue the Reaver in time,
Oh, what I was
might have
running
the same
against.
chance of saving Janos from his grisly fate.
Still chance that I could improve it, but it won't be by... And it has to all go just as well as it did the last time. I don't know, it says 3:40:31, but I don't really know. I'm down by 10 seconds. No, it's not too bad. Like I said, I was a minute ahead at one time. That would have been a spot. And run it again. Whoops, no, I need to go on this side. This really doesn't matter. Oh no, you didn't distract me. I died, so enter the air shrine. I was way ahead. It was great. But I got knocked into the spectral realm, and that's what cost me. Apparently it was closer to 50 seconds time lost on 20. You had nothing to do with that. Actually, going. Oh, that's not going to help. There's bad if I walk off the boat. This is a ridiculously long cutscene to show that it's powered up. Damn it. Yep. You know, video game.
I plunged the Reaver into that furnace and forged the blade with elemental fire. With the Reaver thus imbued, I was now armed to unlock the elemental barrier and rescue Janos from his executioners.
All right. Chance. Still improve it by a few seconds. We'll see. I'm just happy I got a run all the way, mostly so far. Oh, that has to hurt. Also, Raziel's strong.
Look at his black
Oh, spoiler alert. That's Raziel. And that's Raziel. 2 Raziels. Yeah, man. Traveled back in time. That is the human Raziel right there.
Get out of here.
Remember the sword!
No paradox. This is supposed to happen. Which, you play the Blood Omen and the first Soul Reaver. Like, this game is, at least the story, mind-blowing first.
Forgive me. I'm sorry. I failed you.
No, Razia. Perhaps this was my true purpose.
No, it's so.
Simply to save your life.
Explain it a bit better.
While I have taken
Raziel
yours.
is made by Mobius.
Razia. You must reclaim the Reaver. It was forged for you and you
I don't know.
alone. Without it, there is no hope.
That's true. I don't know. It's weird. You would think he'd remember how he died and became a vampire.
As I backed away from Janos's body, I was overwhelmed
But
by
it's
a
not the
sense of
case.
self-loathing so deep I could barely contain it. In that
Dr.
instant,
Robotnik?
I rejected all that I ever was. And
Yes.
embraced the role Janos had safeguarded for me so patiently throughout the centuries. I knew then what I had
He's
to
the one
do.
who's been orchestrating everything.
Task
The one with
for
the
which I
hood.
was uniquely prepared. I would pursue the Sarafan dogs to their loathsome fortress and avenge Janos Ordrin's murder. Mobius would pay
Perhaps,
dearly for this
yes.
treachery, and my Sarafan brethren would reap the horrors
Think
they
you're
had
right.
sown. I would retake the stolen Reaver, which was rightfully mine. And finally, when all these debts had been paid, I would reclaim
He is the
Janos
time
Ordrin's
streamer.
heart
He's the one who's
from their
orchestrated
filthy
all
and
this. He's the
unworthy
one
hands.
who
If the heart was truly
put
imbued with
plans
the
into
power to
place
restore vampiric unlife,
500
its
years,
highest purpose
well,
was clear
at
to
this
me.
time,
I would
for
restore
future
the house to
Raziel,
Janos,
the fallen
and thus
traps.
undo the vile crime committed by my abominable former
Not
self.
quite. Right, let's do this. Alright. See you in a bit, Blades.
Little Razia.
So, these demonic pests were not merely the product of Nosgoth's corrupted future, for here they were, hurtling back over 5 centuries to pursue me. These creatures, I suspected, were minions of the unseen forces that had hoped to control me. This was the tangible expression of their displeasure. These demons were unleashed as the penalty for my disobedience.
That was slow. So you think you can save Scott? Let me enlighten poor Raziel.
Noskov. Let me enlighten you, poor Raziel.
Really? You hit me? You did not have a chance. Why? It's all messed up.
There he is, the savior of Nosgoth. Shall not pass.
I will, though. Oh, up. Oh, there it goes. Whatever, we'll play it out soon. Do it perfect fights.
You have failed me, Raziel.
I wonder, Old One. Did you truly resurrect me, or were you simply there when I awakened from my torment in the abyss? I suspect you found me merely convenient, dropped in your lair by Cain, indestructible for some reason, a durable and gullible tool for you to manipulate.
I don't
This
know
one
why he
thing I
won't
readily
grab
admit.
the ledge.
I have been used by
Like you have to
others
hit that
time and again,
jump
but always I seem to stray
straight
from my
on.
path. What is it about me, demon, that makes me such an unreliable instrument? Why do I survive one trial after another, on and on, in an endless succession of humiliating deaths and resurrections? It seems there is much more to my destiny and my history than I know. Perhaps more than you know as well.
He thinks he can change his destiny. What a fool.
Make a wide berth around that. Don't get close to that. Ow. Ow. Not get some spectacle around. Oh! Again. Really? Got hit. I never get hit. It kind of does, especially here in the future, or actually it's the pet. I can't do it. I have one fight I have to do. No, you don't. No, we don't go back. Sure. So. No, I can't. This is the past. What I meant.
Seize him!
Well, good luck if you can find one. Alright, a cutscene.
Suddenly and inexplicably,
Perhaps I gained
discovered
some
the
time
Reaver
back.
suspiciously laid across my path.
I don't think I did.
Then I sensed nothing of that temporal distortion, the peculiar sense of displacement I
But
had felt when I encountered the
one good
Reaver in
thing.
William's chapel.
So from
With the blade, I suffered the
getting the
same
fire
nameless
blade
dread
all the way
that I had
here,
experienced when Janos first presented
aside
the
from
Reaver to
messing
me.
up, falling off that thing,
I felt it
I need
was
to
repelled
just take
by
my
the
time.
and yet overwhelmingly
That's consistent.
compelled.
Like I'm able to not have to shift heal. Till I need to jump up after the last big dude.
You have no choice
Which is
but to
good.
confront me.
I've been able to do that
And
3
I am not so
times
foolish as I
consecutively,
believe.
so that's good.
We have business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Seraphim to Janos, you vile bastard. You
And
were
now,
orchestrating
with
my
perfect
every move.
fights, I could
My
PB
destiny is
again
amusing
by
to you.
a few
It was
seconds.
fun
But
while it lasted. I think not.
highly unlikely.
Malik, do not let this creature leave.
But it would be cool if it happened.
Poses a danger to the circle. Poor, deluded Raziel. Did you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me?
I'm
the
time streamer.
I knew your every intention before you did.
That's Mobius. His staff disables Raziel's Wraith Blade and can also... Not Morbius.
There is trouble within. The circle is under attack.
No, never Morbius.
This one is the real danger to
What are you trying to concoct here, Mobius?
You toxic creature. Did you imagine I'd simply allow you to
He's the
run
time streamer, so he knows exactly what's gonna happen. He orchestrates everything.
I admit that I've underestimated you to this point, Mobius. It's a mistake I won't repeat.
Wrong again, Razier.
Yes, kind of.
Now, Merrick.
Bolt
the door.
Using his staff to disable my Wraithblade, Mobius effectively disarmed me, leaving me with only one choice of weapon.
Alright,
And yet I confess, it was
we'll
not
find
my
out if we
conscience,
gained any
but
time back.
blind rage that made me take up the Reaver. In my fury, it felt as
But
though
the thing
my
is, he
hand
doesn't
had
kill
acted of its
anybody,
own will.
right?
And now that same hand
He just
the hilt with unyielding
gets
strength.
other people to do his
I felt
work,
a constrained
orchestrates
tingling,
things
a
to,
remote,
you know,
palpable sense of longing.
like
as
the Charles
disabled
Manson.
Wraithblade tried vainly to embrace its physical twin.
Come on. Alright, so I gain 2 seconds back. I do need to get rid of my previous segment thing, because
Come to take your revenge,
you can see that on comparison time.
Back to hell with you!
I recognize these two as my former brethren, in life as Sarafan, and in unlife as Cain's vampire sons.
What?
Melchiah and Zephon.
You're just
the
trying to make
weakest
this
of Cain's brood.
tie into Lord of
These
the
bastards had no idea what future lay in store.
Oh yes, I know.
How they would become the
It's
very
what you
thing
do.
they so despised. The Reaver hummed with ravenous anticipation. Janos
Reaver hummed
a
with
vampiric
ravenous
blade,
anticipation.
endowed with the power to drain its victims of their lifeblood. I was eager to see what the Reaver would do to these
two. Damn you. Oh, this is not.
Melchiah and Zephon fell before my blade. I felt the Reaver's bloodthirst as keenly as I ever had when I was still a vampire. I could sense the boundary between us dissolving.
That one
The
wasn't
Reaver was
super
consumed
clean,
with my rage,
but
and I was intoxicated by its blood.
it's okay.
The blade had a vitalizing effect on me.
Intoxicated by its
My physical
blood.
energy no longer decayed over time, and the wounds inflicted by my foes healed almost instantly. The Reaver had made me invincible.
Have you come to reclaim the monster's black heart?
You'll have to get through us first.
have to get through us fast.
My former brethren, Duma and Rahab, confronted me next.
So it's also kind of funny, you kill all these guys twice. Kill them now and in their vampire forms.
Drunk with revelations. I could finally appreciate the
You enjoy the kill.
This private joke, and I reveled as I colluded with him across the centuries. For it was I who put these bastards in their tomb, thus providing the corpses for Cain to raise as his vampire sons a millennium from now.
Oh, you guys.
Get back to the pit you crawled from, demon.
And here at last was my brother Turel, who along with Duma would bear me into the abyss without questioning Cain's command.
I'm almost
So
done.
Dutiful and righteous, even as a vampire.
What?
I guess some habits die.
I'm almost done.
The vampire
Well, I'll be up
Turel had a
in
long vengeance.
3 minutes.
The Sarafan Turel would not.
I will.
Stab him.
No.
Wait.
He moves faster.
So, vampire, here we are. You've destroyed my brethren, and now you've come for me.
In the middle of...
Find I'm not such easy prey. I
How about
don't want
to
kill,
beat it
but I will
faster?
if I must.
Maybe. Trying to
Return
beat
the
it faster than I
heart, and we
did
can end this now.
before.
So, you've come
This
to
is the
avenge
final
that
battle.
filthy parasite and reclaim his foul heart. You're a righteous fiend, aren't you?
If I can get a perfect final battle, I might save
No,
time.
vampire. This is where it ends. But you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick. As you did for Janos?
Like, yes, you do fight
No,
yourself.
that beast had eluded
Save
us
time
for
by
far too long.
going fast.
Would have been a shame
I
to
might.
leave him too quickly.
So,
It's ironic, really.
my old
The
record,
great Janos Ordrin turned
we're
out
coming
to
up
be
on
no
it, but if I can,
Thanks to you.
if I can fight him well,
Hear his
I can
cowardly
beat it.
Screams when I tore that black heart out of his carcass.
Oh my gosh, I did it! I beat it! By 11 seconds! Oh my word. So now alright. So now I have to render this. Oh my gosh. And my sum of best now is 35 minutes. I know, right? That shouldn't have happened. But the good news is,
Sensing its twin,
I can save another minute.
blade uncoiled
For
itself
real.
from me, and instead wound
Oh
lovingly
my
around
gosh.
its former self. I felt its grip loosen, and as the blade left me, its absence chilled me more than
Alright.
its presence ever had. A foreboding sense of emptiness and loss stole over me, and a terrible revelation.
It wasn't
gathered
perfect
like a
in fight. In the
storm
beginning,
edge of my
fight
awareness.
wasn't that
With
good
all
either,
other
but
foes exhausted, the conjoined blades turned themselves on me, and I realized, finally, why I had sensed nothing
alright.
when Janos
We'll
offered
just
me the
finish
blade.
watching.
The Reaver was never forged to be a soul-stealing weapon. The ravenous, soul-devouring entity trapped in the blade was, and always had been, me.